Bob Morrow from emailhomes.ca and Venture Property Investments. For those of you who have been to some of the education classes that VPI presents, Chris and Martin, you understand what the term legal means. For those who don't, very briefly, it's the difference between having a two-suite home that's stated as an in-law suite and the other one that's been rezoned as a duplex. The duplex one is legal, and you have to go through specific things to do to the home, plus paperwork, permits, the whole bit, to make sure that it can be rezoned as that. Whereas with an in-law suite, as long as it's up to safety code and building code and you got the permits, it's okay as an in-law suite. The difference between the two and why you may or may not want to do that is something for another video. Or you can always call me and email me and we'll talk about it. But basically what this video is about is the value of having a legal duplex as opposed to an in-law suite. Both homes are exactly the same. Let's say it's been done by the same contractor. It looks exactly the same. They're both up to code, both safety, but this person's gone through the process of having the inspectors come out and actually gone through and paid all the permits and the fees to make it a legal duplex. This person stopped partway through that. Of course, the inspectors came out to see that everything was up to code in that, but they never went through the rest of the process. And perhaps maybe a couple of minor things they didn't do either. They aren't necessary for building and safety code, but the city requires them in order to get rezoned. So to make a long story short, we have an in-law suite and we have a duplex. The duplex we're finding only recently has a value of about $25,000 to $30,000 over the in-law suite. So in other words, if I want to sell both these houses as an agent, I might list this one for $519 because it's an in-law suite and that's what the going rate is. But the legal duplex, we've only been able to sell a couple of them lately. Some of our clients have asked us to sell. So we're starting to understand what the value is. Before now, it was buy and hold and nobody was selling them. We didn't really know. But now we have, and we're finding that that same house that I listed here for $519, I can list this one for $540, maybe even $550, and it's the exact same house. But the word legal is now being circulated enough that educated people understand what that means. It means zero risk. There's nothing to be done. The city approves of it and everything's fine. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with this house. You can still rent it and everything else, but there is a risk factor there because it hasn't been legally called a duplex.